The Super Bowl is here. It is the New England Patriots, somehow back in this spot already, against a Seattle Seahawks team that no one thought could get to this level with the quarterback that they have. There are storylines abound. So let's get our first read of Super Bowl 60 with our first read, early storylines. Let's talk some football. The Super Bowl is here, and it is funny to have to ask this question when you get to the biggest game of the season. You get to a championship game. You get to all of these, whatever you want to call this, and still the first question I have is this team any good? But that's where I'm at right now with the New England Patriots. I still don't know if this is a good football team or not. I kind of like, okay, saying are they a good football team? That's a bit, I'm being a bit shitty there. I understand that. But is this a championship level team? I don't think so. Like, if you put this team up there against any of the other Super Bowl teams that have played in the last little while, how many is this team beating? I don't know the answer. I don't think it's particularly high. But still, they're here. Like, we can talk about, oh, are they for real? Are they not? I don't know, man. They're in the Super Bowl. Like, they are one win away from being champions. All they have to do, and we'll talk about this in a second, all they have to do is beat Sam Darnold, and they're Super Bowl champions. I think their fans would have taken that. They'll take it now. Like, it is crazy the run that this team has been on. But obviously, the big question around them is the opposition that they have faced. It's the schedule. It's one of the easiest schedules that a team in the history of the sport has ever had to face en route to a Super Bowl championship. So obviously there are going to be questions now that you are taking on a team that is unquestionably for real in the Seattle Seahawks, a well-rounded, just terrifying team to play against. This is where you do actually like, okay, what are we getting into now? What is this team actually? And again, normally you have to figure that out before the Super Bowl, but things have very much gone their way. I figured this out the other day. If you take the list of quarterbacks that the Patriots have faced and where they finished this season in passing yards, not a perfect stat, but I think a decent marker. If you took where they finished in passing yards and averaged them all out, the average quarterback that the Patriots faced this season is, I think it's 22nd or 24th. It is not a murderer's row that this group has faced this year. And then when they do face the good quarterbacks, it's under good circumstances, which they earned by getting home field against the Houston Texans. That they earned in being able to take advantage of Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. So some of the advantages that they had, they were able to earn as the year went on, but they earned those as the year went on against teams that we're still not entirely sure what they are or what they aren't. So I don't know if I've had this many questions about a team in a Super Bowl in a really long time. And look, like their supporters will tell you that they faced some of the best defenses in the NFL over the last little bit, which good because Drake May is still fourth in passing yards in the playoffs. And he is one of two quarterbacks who have played 3 games. So he hasn't really blown the world away. He has been great this season and has been very deserving of being in the MVP conversation. Again, it's just this whole thing where I don't know how for real this is. On the other side, I think the big story is obviously Sam Darnold. And can he finish one of the great turnarounds that a career that we have ever seen? Because, like, when you look at, like, Dilfer and Brad Johnson and those guys, obviously, they were carried to those games by elite-level defenses and help around them. And this is a really, really good defense that Seattle has, but, like, Darnold's playing better than anything Trent Dilfer did in the year when the Ravens won, or anything Brad Johnson did in the year that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won their championship. This is not a guy who has been carried to this spot. This is a guy who has been carrying his weight in all of these big moments as well for Seattle, and it is a big reason why this team is where they are at, now one win away from a championship. And we've had some pretty big turnarounds in the NFL in the last little while, right? Like we've had Baker Mayfield go from teammate of Sam Darnold's go from being like cast aside and a waiver claim to being a high level quarterback. Same thing with Geno Smith, the guy who Darnold took the job from. But none of them have got to this point. The fun stories, the Cinderellas, the whatever, those have been filtered out by the time we get to the championship game, but not now. So Sam Darnold has a chance to do basically a career turnaround that we haven't seen in the NFL maybe ever, to go from cooked, done, whatever, to not just happen to be playing quarterback for a dominant defense, but real legitimate contributor to a Super Bowl level team. It is really quite something to see what this player has turned himself into. So a really cool story to start the week in the National Football League as we get ready for the Super Bowl this upcoming weekend. So those are, again, just a couple of the stories that I am really focusing on here in the next little bit. But another thing that I want to talk about today is obviously what it means for the winner and the loser is something that most of us will never truly understand. But for a bigger footballing standpoint, I want to take a look at what this game could really signify in the NFL landscape.